Hey man, calisthenics. We're doing an easy 3 mile run here early in the morning, just after 6:15. Not sure what I'm going to talk about today, but I just wanted to get on here and do a little bit of commentary on just kind of my running journey and kind of where I'm at today. First and foremost, man, I'm 32 years old, 94 baby, 90s baby. I've been running for first really started running in high school, so 2009. So my freshman year of high school, I started cross country. Um, I always did kind of have a decent cardio based. I was a soccer player growing up, so I wasn't afraid of running. I didn't necessarily like it, but I wasn't afraid of it. Um, Kind of 2 miles, a mile wasn't too hard for me, but like 2 miles seemed intimidating before I started cross country. So I did that for 4 years. I ran cross country for 4 years in high school, and I really started to fall in love with the idea of running long distances. And back then, 5 miles was somewhat of a long distance because in high school, at least where I went to 6A, cross country meets were 5K, and that's 3.1 miles. So those were your races. And I think in college, I think you run an 8K if you're in the men's division, and I think in the women's division you may run a 5K. So I did cross country for 4 years. I know I started with music. I don't run with music now. I don't remember the last time I've run with headphones. It's been a while. Um, I don't look down on anybody who runs with headphones, but I just don't do it. And it's running is something that creates clarity within my mind. It creates creativity. Um, Definitely a moving meditation for me. So no music, and I'll probably never run with music ever again. But I remember those first couple of practices my freshman year. Man, I had the over-the-ear headphones with the CD player. I don't know what I was thinking. My coaches didn't say anything. It's crazy to think that I went to practice with that, but now we're here. So after my senior year of cross country, I didn't really run that much in college. I don't really remember doing a race in college. I don't remember putting in, 10, 15, 20 miles a week in college. I don't think I ever did that. It wasn't until really, I think 2018, maybe 2019 is when I started to somewhat run again. And then I obviously fell off again. And then I just started to pick it back up the last maybe 4 years. I think the 4 years I've kind of been trying to run consistently, but really the past 6 months is when I'm like, okay, I want to take this seriously because I want to get control of my overall fitness, and I realized that running 20 to 25 miles, maybe even 30 miles a week is the best for me. And when I do that, I feel the most in shape. So yeah, right now I'm averaging about 25 miles a week. I'm doing two speed workouts, and then I'm doing maybe one long run and then two just easy short runs like the one you see here. And I feel pretty good. I feel strong. I feel like I'm getting back into shape. I am for my job. I am a blue collar worker, so I am on my feet a lot. So even putting in 25 miles a week, that's a lot. A lot of people who are constantly on their feet don't run this much. So I really like the endurance aspect of it because one thing that I did previously was I used to bike a lot. I haven't biked that much this summer. Just trying to get focused back onto running, and I might do a 10K coming up here soon, and I think it'd be fun to record that. And I also want to do a race in Vietnam. I'm going to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam in a couple months, so I think it'd be really cool to do a POV race of that because I really like to see myself run. And I don't know if that's my ego or that's just I like the ability to recall, certain events or certain competitions or games. But I think it's really cool this the ability to view yourself in a race environment. And I think with this camera that I have on, I think it's a great opportunity to do that. So those are two races that I'd like to compete in. The one in the 10K that's coming up in about a month. That's actually in Kansas City, so I might try and um, put myself into that. I haven't registered for that yet. I'm holding off registration. I think it's just fear of not getting the results that I want. That's one thing that I've realized about myself is that I don't like pushing myself to failure, especially with running because it's hard, man. It's not easy. 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, man, those aren't easy. And I can't just casually enter that. I got to compete. Like for me, there's no participating in anything. I have to compete in everything. And that's a gift and a curse, I think. So let me talk about this run a little bit. My legs are somewhat tired. And yeah, I just was not feeling this morning run. I kind of got into it the last maybe mile and a half. Like I started to warm up, but really the first mile and a half, I'm just getting warmed up. My legs are kind of dead. They feel heavy. I'm probably a little bit dehydrated. I haven't been stretching, and a week like I've had this week of running, man, it's just it's been kind of subpar because I had a scheduled track workout on I believe Thursday, and I skipped it just because man I had to rest, man. I was tired, so I was gonna do it Friday, or excuse me, I had a tempo run Thursday. Excuse me, I had a tempo run Wednesday, and then I was gonna do a track workout Friday, but I was just like, hey, I gotta rest. Like I probably could have done it, and I probably should have done it, but man, my legs have just been feeling just heavy the past couple of days, and that may have been due to work, probably diet. I've been eating too much Texas Roadhouse. I haven't been drinking enough water and stuff like that. Just I don't know, it just catches up to you, man. So that's one thing that I need to kind of hone down is my diet because I feel like I'm good for a week and then I fall off for a week, or I'm good for 4 days and I fall off for 2 days. I just want more consistency with my diet. I'm also looking at this video, man. I'm also a street runner. I don't like running on the sidewalks. I don't know if anybody else is saying, but sidewalks are weird to run in. And usually I run in early in the morning, so I don't really have any issues with cars. But sometimes when a car is coming my way, yeah, I'll get on the sidewalk for a little bit. But I've always been a street runner. I don't like running on the sidewalks. It's easy to fall, especially running in the morning when it's dark out. The street offers a little bit more protection and more prediction when it comes to surface. So, yeah, you won't see me running that much on the sidewalk, especially in kind of older neighborhoods, because there's a lot of brick, and it's easy to fall into or trip on the brick. So yeah, as you can see, I just went over onto the sidewalk. There's a car coming. But yeah, man, we're a mile in to this run. Heart rate is 126, so that's my easy pace. I believe I get up to threshold towards the end. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just talking too much and not focused. Um, or maybe I'm warmed up and I'm just ready to, push myself a little bit. But like I said, this is an easy run. Not too much going on. It has been pretty hot the past couple weeks, and so I rarely run after 7 o'clock in the morning. The only time I'll run past 7 o'clock is during a long run. Like I may start my long run at like 7 o'clock, end at like 8:30. So I'll try to get like an hour and a half, maybe an hour long run, maybe an hour 15 long run, anywhere from 7 to 10 miles is usually my long run. So I got a pair of Adidas running shoes that I'm wearing right now, and I've had them for about 4 months. I think I have 300 miles on them. I gotta check my Strava, but I got a decent amount of mileage on them. There's a hole in my left front toe or my left big toe. There's a hole in the shoe. I like these shoes. I'll probably get a second pair once these are absolutely trash, but they're starting to wear on me a little bit. A little wear and tear, especially the big toe. There's a hole. This run in the morning was nice because the you could see the sun coming up because I'm usually finished by this time. I'm usually done by 6:30 or 6:15 because I want to get out on the street by 5:30, and that's kind of the issue that I'm having is that I want to run early in the morning, but I want to be able to record. But the sun's not out and it's dark out, and this camera, it's decent in low light. It's not great, and so I want to be able to show my point of view on these runs, but also just for my lifestyle, like I like getting out on the street earlier in the morning. So I got to figure something out. I got to figure something out. But yeah, the sun's coming up in the east. I'm starting to get warmed up now. It's about halfway through this little easy run. I would say that I did run a time trial last Sunday. So that would have been August 16th. I ran a 2034, either 2034 or 2036 5K, which I wanted to get under 2030, but I'll take the 2034 or whatever 2036. My splits weren't that great. My first mile split was like 6:15, and then I went from like 6:15 to like 6:30, and then like 6:36, something like that. Man, I started off way too fast. Although the first mile of the course was pretty down, a lot of downhill, but I started way too fast. I think I got way too excited, and it's been a while since I've paced myself for a 5K, especially at race pace. But also, it's not the easiest running by yourself at race pace because during a race you have other people with you, you have more adrenaline, you also have the psychological effect that you're competing not only with yourself but also with other people. So no competition is better than the human will, especially the human will of somebody else, right? So um, maybe I shade 4 or 6 seconds off of that time if I was running with people, but who knows? I guess we can find that out next month. But yeah, next month, potential 10K, Kansas City, Missouri, Plaza, probably a good race. The last race that I ran in and I registered in was, I believe, a 10K. And I think I ran a sub 45. So this time my goal is to run like about a 42. And I think that would be top 10 in my age group, depending on the size of the event, which I think is a pretty popular event. Maybe 500 runners, maybe 800, maybe 1,000. I don't know. Um, but I'm hesitant to enter because the sign up's a little bit late. Like, it'd be paying like $65 or $70 for this event, but I think it'd be great content. I think it'd be really cool to record during that race. I don't know if my camera will last the whole race, but we might as well try, you know what I mean? So, and I thought about returning this camera. Just because it's not cheap and the battery life cuts out after or when you're hit 20% battery. So, like, say you have 45 minutes left of memory, but the battery on the camera hits 20%, it's going to stop recording. I do not like that. And that's what happened my first run. I did a tempo run with this camera early in the morning. It was a little dark out, and it cut like 15 minutes left of my run, and I wasn't happy about that. I doubt I'll upload that. Actually, I can't upload that film because I deleted it. But yeah, I was not happy that all that stuff cut out. Somewhat disappointed in the low light capabilities of this camera. Somewhat disappointed in the battery life of this camera, but I don't know. We'll work through it, and I think I'll get better with just more practice with this camera. So, because right now I'm wearing a hat mount. So I'm wearing a backwards baseball hat with a clip on it, and my camera has a magnetic clip attached to my hat. So this is about the size of half the size of a GoPro. And I think the quality is decent. You know, it's 4K. Stabilization's pretty good. I do move my head around a lot, just looking left to right. I don't know if I should be more conscious of the fact that I do have a camera on my head, or I should just say F it and run the way I want to run and look around when I want to look around. But yeah, this route I take about maybe once every other week. Just kind of running not too far from home. I do need to change up my routes a little bit. Need a kind of wider variety of running and places to go because I do want to incorporate more hills. I'm not running enough hills because that's one thing that I've realized when I did my time trial is that I'm lacking on hill work and hill speed and hill consistency and how to tackle hills because I'm pretty good at downhills. I've always been solid on downhills, making sure that I hit my strides and maintain form. Somewhat exaggerate going down hills, but I actually like uphill work because usually in a race, uphills are when people rest. And my philosophy is that we always work uphills because then we can recover on downhills. That's how I've always that's how I've always taken hills. You know, you work, then you recover. I think it's also flats, like the flat areas of a trail or of a course, or sometimes it's hard for me to maintain that speed. I think you can see that in my splits on my time trial is that, you know, I got fatigued, but that's natural in a race, man. Your splits aren't always going to be perfect. And the more you race, the more you know your body and the more you know where to conserve and where not to conserve. I know with the track workouts, my my sprinting is pretty good, especially for a runner or a long distance runner. I know for me, the I get stronger the more you go, the more I run. Like that last 800 meters, I think I'm pretty good at, right? And then the last 200 meters, I think I'm pretty good at. I always finish pretty strong. In that last 800 meters to a mile, man, I'm pushing, especially when I have other people in front of me, maybe other people chasing me down. I think I've only been chased down once, and I was pissed. I don't like that. I chase people down. People don't chase me down. And I wish running was a little bit more nastier. Like I wish it was a little dirtier in the fact that playing basketball and baseball and just other sports growing up, like trash talking was a lot more prevalent. But like in running, you don't really hear too much trash talking. But I kind of like to do it. I like to run dirty, and running dirty looks what running dirty looks to me is I maybe trail somebody and make them uncomfortable. I may breathe annoyingly. I may cough, which when people cough and they run, it annoys me. When people talk when they run, that annoys me. When they just have conversations during a race, that annoys me. So um, sometimes I do those things, and a lot of people don't like it. But that's kind of my edge. That's what gets me going. I think that's what adds to the excitement of a race. That what adds to the excitement of running. I think it puts some energy into something. But for the most part, when you're out on the course, it's pretty quiet. Like the only time you hear cheering or any type of conversation, it's usually in a part of the course where there's a lot of spectators. Maybe that's what I need to do is just be a spectator in some of these races and events just to go to watch. Maybe I need to do more of that. Look up what nearby races there are and just go to spectate, not always compete. Just to be around runners. And I think people who don't run, or excuse me, people who do run, just know this is not easy. It's a practice. Rarely there are people who are non-runners that just pick up this sport or practice and are good. Like I've only run into a few people who are just really good at this, and they haven't had that much running experience. Like the first time they run a 5K, they run like a sub 20. Like that's pretty impressive, and they've never really run before. Like for me, I've been training or I've been running, especially in high school and kind of now. Like I've yet to run a sub 20, which is around like a 2030 is I consider it in between like advanced and intermediate. It's certainly not elite, but for somebody like me who cross trains and running isn't my only discipline, I think my times aren't that bad. But I'd like to consistently be able to run a sub 20. But I think realistically, I'm maybe about year or so worth of training to get under that. And that comes with consistency with diet, that comes with consistency with stretching, consistency with training. I think I'm about a year away. So yeah, I'm about 2.65 miles in. Don't have too much left. My heart rate's getting a little higher. I'm kind of in the still zone one. I think my zone two is around maybe 150, maybe 1 47, somewhere around there. But like I picked up the pace a little bit, and I may just be a little bit fatigued because I've just been sore, and so my heart rate's increasing. But yeah, I don't have too much left. I think at this point, I just wanted the run to be over. I really didn't want to go out and run today, but you got to do it anyways. Especially because I skipped last the track workout that I was supposed to do the day before. I didn't run this morning either, man. I'm just no bueno. I can't be doing that. And maybe it's just hey, my body is telling me you need a recovery week, and then also it's just I might just feel a little lazy. I think it's a mixture of both. I don't bring any water or anything when I run either. It's really just me. The only thing I really have is my watch. I might wear my heart rate monitor. And I'm jaywalking. Don't call the cops. But yeah, I'm definitely in zone 2 right now. I think I hit my threshold is maybe 170, but definitely 166 on that now is zone 2. And I just want to get to the 3 mile mark because I'm finished, man. Not feeling it, man. But I hope to make more videos of this. Just me running, doing a little bit of commentary. Gonna have a video, just 2 separate videos, and one just running with no commentary, one just running with commentary, just talking about stuff. So stay tuned for that. I don't know about other content creators, but like I don't know if you ever rewatch your stuff. I don't really rewatch some of my stuff. Like for this, I probably won't rewatch it. But I was thinking about this the other day is that when I've been injured, like all I thought about was just reminiscing in times where I've run or when I was active and not stationary to that stuff. And we are at 3 miles.